our second page of our note-taking guide that we are using for section 4.2 has this polynomial at the top, and it has arrows pointing to the leading coefficient, the second coefficient, and the third coefficient. I have written out 3 different cases to help you factor polynomials. The first thing you have to do is you have to observe the signs of the second and the third coefficient. So for the polynomial x squared plus 6x plus 8, it's case 1 where both the second and the third coefficient are positive. So we must find a pair of numbers that multiply and equal 8 and add and equal 6. So when we take the number 8 and we write down all of the factors, you get 1 times 8, 2 times 4, 4 times 2, and 8 times 1. So the pair that adds to 6 is 2 and 4. So we know that if we want to factor the number x squared plus 6x plus 8, that we're going to use the numbers 2 and 4 as our second term in both binomials. Our first term has to be x because x times x gives us x squared. And both of our signs, by looking at our case 1, say positive, positive. So to factor x squared plus 6x plus 8, here is your answer. Now, if we have the polynomial x squared minus 6 plus 8, our second coefficient is negative and our third coefficient is positive. So that follows a case 2. So under case 2, it says find a pair of numbers that multiply to get the third coefficient, which is 8, and add to get the second, which is 6. So once again, we are going to use 2 and 4 because that works for this case also. So I'm going to go ahead and put 2 and 4. I know that my first term in each of these has to be an x. And under case 2, it says that both of my signs are negative. So that means this is negative and this is negative. So this is my answer for x squared minus 6 plus 8. Okay, now if we have x squared minus 7x minus 8, this is a case 3 because I have a negative and a negative. So I need 2 numbers that multiply to give me 8 and subtract to give me 7. So when I write down all of the multiples of 8, or the factors rather, I'm sorry, I can see right away that I need 8 and 1 because 8 minus 1 is 7. So under case 3, it says that my signs are 1 is positive and 1 is negative. And it says put the negative sign with the highest of these numbers. So the highest of these 2 numbers is 8. So I'm going to have negative 8, positive 1. And I know that in order to get this x squared, both my first terms have to be x. So this is the answer to x squared minus 7x minus 8. Okay, now if I have x squared plus 7x minus 8, this is a case 4 where I have a positive sign and then a negative sign. So my first term is going to be x to get this x squared. Case 4 tells me that I need two numbers that multiply to get 8 and subtract to get 7. So that's going to be 8 and 1 again. And then it tells me that the positive sign goes with the highest number. So I put the positive with the 8 and the negative with the 1. The next 4 problems on your study guide I've left for you to try and do on your own. So look at them individually and then try to decide if they're a case 1, 2, 3, or 4 and factor them, and then check my solution video to see if you understand.